I accepted a dinner invite from my boss. And it backfired horribly. First, it seemed innocent. My boss, David, invited me out for dinner, just the two of us. He called it a well-deserved evening. A thank you for going the extra mile on a high-pressure project no one else even wanted to touch. I had put in months of late nights, sacrificed weekends, and carried that team across the finish line more times than I could count. So when he looked at me that Friday morning with that signature charming smile and said, "Dinner, my treat. You've earned it," I felt flattered, like maybe someone finally saw my work. God, I should have said no. But you have to understand, David wasn't just my boss. He was the boss. The kind of man who didn't just run the company. He owned every room he walked into. Charismatic, powerful, and terrifying in the way only very rich, very connected men can be. People whispered about him, sure, how he could make or break careers with a single sentence, but no one ever challenged him. When he suggested this exclusive rooftop restaurant in the city, skyline views, velvet booths, the kind of place with a months-long wait list, I didn't question it. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I wondered, could this mean a promotion? Maybe I wanted it to mean that. I told my husband, Mark, about the dinner. He didn't say much, just raised an eyebrow and muttered, "Dinner with your boss, huh?" I laughed it off. "It's not like that," I said. "Just a thank you for the project." Mark shrugged. "Okay, just be careful. He's intense." That should have been my second warning. The dinner started fine. David was, as always, effortlessly charming. He complimented my work, asked about my life outside the office, something he'd never done before. We even laughed. I was halfway through a glass of wine when the tone shifted. "You know," he said, slowly swirling the wine in his glass, "you're completely wasted in that department." I blinked. "Sorry. You could go so much farther if you weren't weighed down by that team. No offense, but you're carrying them." I gave a polite laugh. "It's a team effort." David leaned in, eyes sharp. "Let's not pretend. You and I both know this company would fall apart without you. You see that? I notice things other people don't." And then, he looked at me. Too focused. Too familiar. Something in his gaze made my skin crawl. I shifted in my seat, uneasy. "Thanks," I said. "That means a lot." That's when he said it. The line that made my blood run cold. "If you ever felt underappreciated at home too, you'd have options." Froze. "What?" He smiled, that slow, snake-like smile. "You're smart, beautiful, ambitious. I'm just saying, if things ever felt stale, I'd be more than willing to support you. Personally." Everything in me locked up. My stomach turned to stone. I had walked into this dinner expecting recognition for hard work, not to be propositioned by a married man 20 years older than me. "I think you're misunderstanding me," I said, voice low, trying to stay calm. He waved his hand casually. "No pressure. I just thought we had a connection." Understood. My heart was hammering. "Thank you for dinner. But I think I should go." He didn't stop me. Just sipped his wine and watched me leave, like I was a movie he'd already seen and lost interest in. I didn't tell Mark what happened that night. I wanted to. God, I almost did. But I felt ashamed. Like I'd done something wrong. Like I had invited it. So I lied. "Told you it was intense," Mark said. He nodded. "It was fine. A little weird, but nothing major." But it wasn't fine. That was just the beginning. Monday morning everything had changed. I was frozen out. Meetings I used to lead went on without me. My name vanished from email threads. Projects I'd spearheaded were reassigned, often to people I had trained. When I asked David about it, he just shrugged. "Maybe it's time to shift responsibilities a bit. Let others have a chance." Others. And then came the real blow. A junior employee was promoted above me. HR called it strategic restructuring. Nothing performance-related, they insisted. But the whispers started. "She's too emotional. She's not a team player. David says she's been distracted lately." My reputation unraveled like a loose thread in a storm. Fast, silent, devastating. And no one stepped in. Not one colleague. Not even the ones I thought were friends. Then came the formal warning letter. Unprofessional conduct. No explanation. I stormed into HR demanding answers. They said a complaint had been filed. Anonymous. But I knew. Course it was David. He was punishing me. Retaliating for saying no. That night I finally told Mark everything. He was furious. Why the hell didn't you tell me sooner? I was scared, I whispered. I didn't want to make it worse. You didn't make this happen, he said, his voice shaking. He did. And we need to fight back. But how do you fight someone like David? A man with power, connections, lawyers on speed dial. Still Mark wouldn't let it go. If we stay quiet, he wins. So we started gathering evidence. Emails, messages, conversations I had documented. Few colleagues agreed to talk. Off the record at first. Some had their own stories, buried deep under years of silence and fear. We built a case. Filed a formal complaint. HR stalled. So we went public. With the help of a lawyer and a journalist who'd been chasing whispers of abuse of power in the company. We told the story. The fallout was nuclear. David denied everything. Claimed I was bitter, jealous, trying to destroy him because I wasn't promoted. But the pattern was undeniable. Too many women came forward. Stories spanning years. Stories that matched mine in tone, timing, manipulation. He was suspended. Then quietly fired. The company settled with me out of court. But the damage was done. I never went back. I didn't want to. That place, once full of opportunity, felt haunted now. Like a battlefield littered with the ghosts of women who said no and paid the price. I started over. New city, new career, new me. And while I found peace, the guilt still lingers. Not because I did anything wrong, but because I said yes to a dinner, and everything changed. That's what people don't talk about. Sometimes the things that destroy you don't look dangerous. They come dressed in politeness, camouflaged as flattery, framed as opportunity. And by the time you realize what's really happening, it's too late. So yeah, I accepted a dinner invite from my boss. And it backfired. Horribly. What would you have done in my shoes? Have you ever said yes to something that changed everything? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if this story made you think twice about trust and power, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Because real, raw, true stories are coming your way. Stay aware. Stay safe. This is Blood Moon Broadcast.